As you can see, I have to clean because my baby has turned my living room into a playpen. She has put marker all on the mattress, so I'm about to straighten it up and show y'all how I do clean up. But when you have a toddler, it's their rules, their world, okay? So y'all, this is my weekly vlog of being a half stay-at-home mom, half work mom. Child, don't ask me how. Just know that I am what I am. Are you enjoying pizza? Pizza. So basically, my baby she's on the spectrum. We getting her testing. We working on stuff. And girl, I feel blessed to have her because some of these autistic kids be bad. They are bad. They're bad. They're bad. They're bad. Ruth is not bad, but she cannot handle being away from me. So she was getting ready to go back to school. She pulled a braid out her hair. So I have to make sure that she's calm and mentally prepare her for a few days before we go back to school. I'm going to start uploading more mom content. Well, this is a real life. This is a collective. This channel is a collective of everything in my life. Because I'm keep it real. And I'm going to just show y'all, like, I think I'm going to do a month in the life of a half stay-at-home mom, half working-home mom. Because I work, but I stay home. Right now, in this season of my life, Pooh is, I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. I'm about to change. I made the decision to withdraw. I'm about on my last semester of seminary school, not because I'm disobeying God, but because I just can't afford it. Then that's just the truth of the matter. I'm not trying to keep up with the Jones. I am a mother. I'm pretty regular and I'm pretty normal. Baby, I can't afford it. I can't afford to keep running up that debt. So I have been praying and believing God for a more financially responsible route to take, but I just can't do it. So I'm preparing my budget for the month of March. This month we went really under. I'm not gonna say I went below my budget because, first of all, somebody hacked they hacked my information. And I would just say, stop using your debit card at gas stations, try to use cash. So what hackers do is they basically, like, when you put your card on a thing, it runs your last purchases. For some reason, these card readers can read your last purchases. And so in order to try to hide that it's a hack, they charge you the amount of your last purchase over and over and over again with the same name to make it look like the company is trying to get money from you, and they're not. Learned that this month. So, and also I had to pay off some debt, which I'm going to be talking about for this month vlog. So I'm going to be doing, this is the end of February. I'm going to be doing a February to April 1st vlog of being a half stay-at-home mom. But you know, you're going to see me wearing the same stuff over and over again. You're going to see me with no makeup. You're going to see me stressed the heck out because money right now as a stay-at-home mom, I'm a single stay-at-home mother. I'm technically still married, but I'm getting a divorce. And I'm basically showing y'all the side of being a woman who husband just abandoned the marriage. And that's the real life. That's real life that happens. That I was married to a man that didn't want to pay bills. He wanted a wife, but he did not want to be a husband. Child, that's a whole nother thing. So sometimes as a woman, you can get into a marriage and you're dealing with a man that doesn't want to be a man. He want to be a man child. He want to be a little boy. And so he doesn't want to be responsible. And that's becoming way more common, that men are choosing to be homeless because they don't want to pay rent. Pure craziness, but this is really happening. So come on, baby. You're going to see me at the Dollar Tree. You're going to see me at Walmart. You're going to see me shopping on a budget, boo, because I'm normal. I don't keep up with the Jones. Ain't that right? Oh, you eating? Good morning, everybody. So I just woke up. Pooh is still here, and we are doing a self-care journey where I'm basically fixing my mental health and fixing my life. Basically what's going on, and I'm going to show you, is that I am resetting boundaries in my life, and it can be really hard when you have a child
And you have to realize that we have to set boundaries. When you're a mom, you have to learn boundaries. And this has been very difficult for me because I have a special needs child, of setting boundaries. And like, I don't like my room messy. If my room is messy, I just cannot think. And my daughter is naturally messy. And I love my daughter, but I don't like that. And I don't want to live like that. I hate clutter. So basically, let me show you what she did that is a no. So when I am asleep, she goes through my things and she likes to play dress up. And this is a no. No. So I am cleaning my home today and I am getting my house in order. And for the next 30 days, I'm going to reclaim my boundaries as a woman. I'm about to mess my nail polish up because I'm about to deep clean my house. And I'm about to go get some garbage bags. But this is not going to work anymore. And like, now this dishes part, that's me. I have to clean my dishes. A lot of the stuff that's going on is hard because my daughter just wants to play with everything and she doesn't want to clean it up. And I have been depressed. There's no other way to say it. I've been depressed. And I have to stop letting her come in my room and sleep with me at night. I have to start locking my door because I have to get up. It's been almost a year that I've been unemployed, and that has been the main reason I have been depressed, because I am not a lazy woman and I hate not having a job. And I don't believe that you have to go into full-time ministry broke. So I have had to make the decision to withdraw from seminary school because I don't have the financial means to keep going because I'm unemployed. And this is not funny. I'm running up debt with no guarantee that I'm going to have employment when I'm done. So that's not going to work for me. And it's been kind of like a nightmare. Ministry has been kind of like a nightmare as a single Black woman. And I'm reclaiming myself. My daughter has to start sleeping in her room. I know that she's on the spectrum. She's not at school right now because she's stimming. She pulled one of her braids out her hair, and that has to stop. I have to get control of that, because what my daughter has to realize is that we cannot stay home and do nothing all day. That was the problem with the father, is that he wanted to stay home and play all day, and he ended up homeless. And I have to kind of set that and change my daughter's mindset that we don't stay home all day and do nothing. We need to nip this in the bud, because I can't keep getting calls from school to come pick you up, basically. And that's been the issue. I will not say it's the school's problem, but when you have autistic children, they put their fingers down their throat, they make themselves throw up, they do things on purpose because they want their way. And so I'm tired of getting phone calls from the school, come pick her up, come pick her up. No, Ruth, you're going to change. You're going to stop misbehaving. You're going to stay your butt at school all day. That's what you're going to do, because I have to go to work. I have to go to work. And that's been the issue. So being unemployed and dealing with this, special needs child that kind of messes up your flow, is very difficult. And it's a lot to deal with mentally. So I'm about to clean my home. I'm going to play some music. And I'm going to clean my home. And today I'm decluttering my life. When I get settled, I'm going to go buy a new bed sheet. She's not allowed to be. These are boundaries I have to set. You're not allowed to be in my bed anymore because she broke my bed. That's a whole other story in itself. She was jumping in my bed. She broke it. She broke my mattress. So I'm just dealing with a lot mentally, and I can't hit her because I'm too strong. Like, I have given grown men concussions. So it's been a lot to deal with. So today I'm reclaiming my mental health for this next month. We're going into spring, and I'm getting my house back in order, and I'm trying to get this child back in order. And it's irritating because people have so much to say, but don't know what I'm going through behind closed doors. And it's irritating because people feel like, well, God's preparing for full-time ministry. No, he's not. God did not call me to live a life of poverty and to be impoverished, to preach to a whole bunch of nappy head fools who don't want to hear what I got to say. And that's the truth. So the reality is I need money. I have bills to pay. And when you want money, you work. So I had to cut back on a lot of stuff and kind of sit back and rethink. But now I have to get my life together. Another thing I want to say, a lot of reason Black women can't find men is because you don't want set boundaries. I've been critiqued about this and criticized because people try to paint me out as being mean, especially like in Tuscaloosa, they try to paint me out as being mean, try to lie and say I'm trying to starve her, and it's not true. No, there has to be boundaries, because one of the reasons why I struggled with finding employment is because nobody wanted to watch her. Nobody wanted to watch her. Two, I kept getting calls from school saying that she's sick. When we left the house, she wasn't sick. I know that for a fact. You didn't have a temperature, you wasn't throwing up. When you get to school, all of a sudden you're throwing up. Not knowing that autistic children, when they don't get their way, they stick their fingers down their throat. So I've been praying, and God, and then y'all, I bought her so many clothes. She tore all her clothes up. It's slime, crayon, markers, all in her clothes. I had to take her clothes out of her room and put them in my room because I'm waking up. Y'all, do y'all know how much school uniforms cost? You touching about $500 to buy school uniforms, and to buy good ones. I wake up, she got marker all on her school uniforms, this slime all on her school uniform pants. I said, okay. And God, you have to listen to the Holy Spirit when it comes to parenting. And God was like, yeah, stop buying her expensive stuff. She buying her name brand stuff. She don't want to appreciate it. Bring her back down to reality. Don't abuse her. Play the game. If she don't want to appreciate it, okay, send her right on to Walmart. I said, okay, God. He said, no. You buying her name brand stuff, $50 shirts, you taking her to Zara, she don't appreciate it, take her to Walmart. That's how you gonna do her. I said, okay, God. And God told me, he said, until she learned to appreciate having $90, $100, $300 coats. And that's the problem, like with influence. Sometimes you have kids and they're spoiled and they become ungrateful. They become disrespectful. And that's the hard part about having influence, because Ruth really don't know, like she been through some stuff, but she seen me come out of it quick. So now when we go to stores, she just pick anything up. I want this. I want this. I want my nails done. I want my hair done. And she's gotten just a little beside herself. So God told me, he said, she don't appreciate that $100 coat. She don't appreciate them $300 shoes. Send her to Walmart. And until she learned how to appreciate what you get, that's it. Don't beat her. Nah, don't starve her. Buy her clothes at Walmart. I said, okay. And one thing I will also too say is that the Bible tells us to be a good steward. So when God does something in your life and you're not doing what you're supposed to do with that, then you could ruin your next stage of the blessing. And my daughter, a lot of women lose their blessing because of their kids. And that's the truth. And the Bible talks about that even with David, Absalom, and Ishmael, and all that stuff. God talks about that. How, you have to train or Adonijah, you have to train your kids. And everything is not abuse. Like, no, I'm not beating my daughter with extension cords, but she can't do what she want to do. She can't do what she want to do. That's not how I operate in my house. And I've had to really put my foot down. And today is really the beginning of me putting my foot down. Like, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. You're not going to run me. And you're not going to be sitting up in here putting your fingers down your throat so you throw up and have to come home from school. And then on top of that, you're not going to come in my house and mess my house up. So I'm cleaning my house. God, he told me that I spoiled her too much. I spoiled her way too much, and that, she doesn't appreciate the nicer things that I was giving her. and that I need to bring her back down to reality. And that's the truth. I need to bring her back down to reality. You walking around here in $300, $400, $500 outfits, and these kids that buy clothes at the Dollar General. So you want to act like that? Well, I'm gonna bring you back down to reality. You can get your clothes from Walmart. You have to nip that in the bud, or you're gonna have a hell to pay when they become adults. And as a mom, I feel like my growth has been really hindered because everyone is expecting me to stop what I'm doing and drop and run to her. She has a roof over her head. She has food. The problem is when she don't get what she wants mommy to sit and play dolls with her all day, and that's not reality. You have to get up and go work. Even down to her hair. I'm telling God, Lord, I got her hair done. She didn't get her way. She pulled her, like I'm telling y'all, pulled it out the scalp. She pulled her braid. And God told me, he said, okay, she want to pull her braid out. But stop getting her hair done. And we don't want to hear that sometimes. We don't want to hear that. And God's telling me, no, if she wants to pull her braid out, she wants to throw a hissy fit, put her hair in a ponytail until she can appreciate having her hair done. I said, okay. And I go in my room, I don't like when she do sneaky things because I'm a laid back mom. I'm a laid back mom. I go in my room, she broke into my nail polish, and my room smells like nail polish. All my hair products has been used on some baby doll, and stuff is just not how I like it. And I have to get a separate bin to put her clothes and my clothes. And I feel like when I walk into my house, I like my house smelling clean. I clean the walls. I like my house to be clean. And so dealing with a child that has food on the ground, stuff everywhere, and I'm wrestling with you to potty train, I've had enough. And so you have to take time and to give that parenting side, especially when you have autistic kids, to the Holy Spirit, because you don't run me. And it's not abuse. It's not abuse. It's not. It's the simple fact that I have to raise you to be an effective citizen. The problem with my ex-husband, his mother didn't raise him right. And then he tried to take us all down with him because he knew that he was on a bad spiral, and I wasn't going for it. But I gave birth to his child. So she's half of me and half of him. And I'm trying to correct that other side of DNA. And then also, too, this is another reason why I wanted to wait to have a baby, because I wanted to get more financially stable. I don't want to be the type of woman that I have to rely on a man for everything. I want to get financially stable. A lot of men been pressuring me to have a baby, and I'm like, I want to fix my credit. I want to get a new car first. I want to get better before I birth another child into this world, because the baby comes with responsibility. So a lot of women, you will find yourself getting evicted because of your child. Because if your child tearing up the home, you're gonna get evicted. And they get evicted because of a man. I made the mistake, but I was married. And that's what a lot of people saying, like, girl, that's your husband. He did that. I got ejected because of a man, because of my husband. And so you have to, as a woman, you have to set boundaries. And that's what this self-care journey is. Not necessarily about the beauty aesthetic, but it's about setting strict boundaries. Like, no, this is my boundary. Even as your mother, we have boundaries. You cannot sleep with me every night. You can't. You go into your room. You can't be in my room all day. You can't tear my stuff up. You can't use my soap. We have to have boundaries. So then it clicked on me. It clicked that Ruth watches TV when she comes home. She can watch whatever she wants. Mind you, this is a luxury, because you already know back in the day, especially, when we had cable, you watch what came on. You ain't get to just pick and choose your show. You had cable and DVDs, baby. And if the adult was watching TV, you was just out of luck. You was going to sit there and watch Judge Mathis and Judge Judy. That's just how it went down. Anyway, and you was watching Steve Harvey, because that's what they was watching, and MASH and all of that. You ain't had that luxury. So Ruth can flip and watch whatever she want to watch. You can watch Clifford. You can watch whatever you want to watch. So it clicked to me that the reason why Ruth keep going to school and making herself sick is because she wants to come home and watch TV. She don't want to be in school doing work. So because my child does not want to be in school doing work, she has been purposely making herself sick at school. So I'm gonna nip that in the bud. Yep, this is what we gonna do. From now on, you're not gonna watch TV during the week. Since you want to keep, and I mean, y'all, it's mysterious. I have caught Ruth like right before we go to school. She have put her fingers down her throat in the bathroom when she's supposed to be on a potty, and she would be forcing herself to throw up. So by the time she get to school, she already sick. And as soon as she get home, all of a sudden she happy, she watching TV, she playing with her toys. You ain't sick no more when you get home. Why? Because you can watch your shows now. So how I'm gonna nip that into the bud? No TV during the week. You can read the Bible, you can play with your toys, you can do your coloring books. No TV during the week. You can watch TV on Saturday, Sunday no TV, because you got school tomorrow. So we gonna nip all of this in the bud. Because I'm not raising no bone. And I'm not raising no trifling woman. So we gonna fix this. So no, she cannot watch TV during the week. Why? Because I'm tired as a parent. I have to work. I have to be employed. I don't have time when you leave my house, you're in perfect condition. When you go to school, I'm getting a call. You and made yourself throw up. I'm done. No, you have to set boundaries. You have to fix stuff as a parent. You just can't keep letting them go on that way. You have to correct it. So my correction, you can't watch TV during the week. You want to keep playing with me when it's time to go to work, for me to go to work? You want to come home and watch Barbie, forgetting that my job pays for Barbie. It pays for that Netflix subscription. So you want to play with me, I'm going to play too. No TV. That's not abuse. That's a luxury. We're going to take that away. Stop, round and round, hit the ground, step away, bring it back, and let me see you do the love slide. I realized that I can't change the past, but I can change the future. The damage of the past is already done, but what I can do is ask God to order my steps, to reroute me so I don't have a final destination of failure. So I have made the decision that this is my last semester of seminary school because I can't be running up a whole bunch of debts. I decided that I'm going to learn how to work with my hands instead to secure a more stable future. And that's where I am right now. I'm cleaning up my house because I'm reclaiming. God told me to do a 3-day journey, reclaiming and self-caring for myself as a single mother and reclaiming my mind. And it starts with your house. So I'm playing gospel music. I got some love music playing, but I woke up today. I said, you know what? The Lord spoke to me. I had a rough, hold on, y'all. Let me put this down. You see, I got to clean her room up too. That's what I'm talking about. I had a dream and God was talking to me because I just had a lot of hatred in my heart. And God was telling me, Diamond, you don't understand that as a black female prophetess, you are doing something that has not been done. There was no major female prophetess that had a husband, that had the children, that kept her house clean and was looking feminine. You may see an evangelist, with a husband, but you ain't seen no prophetess like Cindy Trim or Juanita Bynum walking that have given birth and that have preached in stadiums. And so I found myself being under attack by the FBI, because as a black female prophetess, they looking at me like, hold on, you don't do that. You don't get to give birth and you don't get to have a husband. No, you are a lesbian. That's what they were trying to force upon me. You're a lesbian. You're not a wife. You're black. And that's the hard thing of what I was going through, is that they were trying to push this narrative. No, the white woman, she can have a husband, she can have a house, she can have a family. You are a black prophetess. Your child does not live to 18. You are a lesbian. You are not allowed to have a husband. And so my soon-to-be ex-husband fell for the trap. He allowed them to trick him, and they ruined his life. So when the devil came up, you okay? When the devil came up against me to that degree, I had to remember who God is and to let God remove the hatred from my heart. Even in the midst of depression, I'm still getting asked to sing, still getting asked to minister, and that's been hard. I know that one day I will have a husband. I know that one day I will have a husband that will not betray me to the FBI, that will not ruin everything that I work for, because like Judas Iscariot, something was presented to him. I know that one day I'm going to receive that blessing. But for right now, even though I want more children, I made the decision that I want to get stable, because you don't want to be homeless with a child. Also, I had to train my daughter, and she's normally not a bad kid, but she's getting a little spoiled. I had to train my daughter to understand mommy has to work. Sometimes your children can keep you in cycles of going through the same thing over and over and over again. And you have to tell them, hey, we cannot be homeless. And as a woman, you can't depend on a man. Even Proverbs 31 says that you have to have your own money. You can't depend on a man for housing. You have to be able to do it on your own. You got to be able to do it on your own, because he can make a bad decision and ruin your life. So, it may be good. Everything that glitters ain't gold. And the Bible says the devil disguises himself as an angel of light. So as I'm fixing my credit, fixing everything that my ex-husband, and I will also say, no matter what level you are, get a prenup, because the only thing I had written agreement was that I was going to get full custody of Ruth. That was a written agreement while I was pregnant. But he messed up my credit score really bad. So I have to rebuild my life because of the injustices that I faced. And it's not easy. And that's why I say this 3 days self-care is me reclaiming me, because I lost myself. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I don't even recognize myself, but I can't stay like that. I'm gonna clean your room. You enjoy it. Play your coloring, okay? Okay. So I realized that maybe this is the problem with this generation, is that they don't know how to enjoy life without being programmed, I'm not trying to be mean to my daughter, but I have to raise her, because I know that in the end, she's going to turn out good, and I don't want to put her in Walmart clothes, but it's like when I go through all of her clothes and I spend so much money on the clothes and they're all tore up. And I'm like, daughter, do you know that this is a luxury? When I was growing up, I didn't have nice clothes. I never had nice things. My hair was never done until I graduated high school, because they were trying to make it seem like, oh, look, we helped you get through high school, but it was filled with abuse. Growing up, some of the people that I was staying with as a child in Southside Chicago were so poor that they would go through the alley and they would dig out the garbage can for food, clothes, and for furniture for their house, because they had bought the house in Chicago when houses were $30,000, $50,000. That wasn't nothing. That's nothing. Now that's the cost of some deposits. But they couldn't, the house was filled with ants and it was just dirty, and they always had roaches in their house. And so how they paid their bills is that they would go dig through the garbage and find like valuables and go pawn it. And they would be taking people's stuff out the garbage, and sometimes to even eat. And washing clothes was a luxury. And so then when one of the people who had me, she married a pedophile at the Pentagon. He was a police officer, And he had gotten in trouble at the Pentagon for sexually harassing women. And he was a retired gunnery sergeant, but he was a pedophile. Nobody else married her. So before then, when we moved out of Chicago for a season to live in Dumfries, Virginia, the utilities were always getting cut off. And I remember being over there, and they used to call the police on me in Prince William County for taking a shower. They would lock the doors, and I wasn't allowed to wash my clothes. So I would, I'm still from the streets, jiggle it, and then I would and I wasn't even allowed to use the bathroom. You wasn't allowed to have toilet paper. So I would have to borrow toilet paper from school, and you weren't allowed to have soap. You weren't allowed to just take care. I wasn't allowed to do those things. So I would force my way into the bathroom. They would kick the door down, take pictures of me while I was in the shower, and try to send it to my classmates to have me get me in trouble. And thankfully, every time God stopped it, and then they would call the police on me and say that I was breaking and entering because I was taking the shower. So I went through a lot of terrible abuse as a kid. Ruth has never went through that. I have no problem with bathing her. You are allowed to look feminine. The thing is that I fear that I gave her so much because I didn't want her to have my story that she kind of became a little ungrateful. And I have to bring her back down to reality because I don't want my daughter. I know that when Ruth is the adult, she's going to be a powerful missionary. She's already serving in church, and she's going to help special needs children learn the Bible. And I'm going to put my daughter in a position that she doesn't have to take breaks from seminary school like I did because there wasn't a lot of money. I don't have a mother or father. I don't know who my biological parents are. I don't have family. I am literally a woman doing this by myself. And I thank God for the people at my church now, at the Methodist church, the Black Methodist church, that are helping me, but nobody else. And I'm saying that in people in the Catholic church, but nobody. It was just me. And, so she just I'll get her hair done for 2 weeks. I don't like this hairstyle. I'm going to take it down. Mommy going to pay for it. That braid's supposed to last 2 months. What you mean you don't, you're bored, Or if I have her clothes, I want to change my outfit like 7 times a day because mommy just going to buy me another one. No, baby, I need you to understand now, you have to work for nice things. Thankfully, she's going to live with me. But Ruth, when she becomes adult, you don't have to pay rent because you're going to live with me because you're special needs. However, you still have to work. You still have to work to have nice things because when you have a child one day, you're going to have to work to buy formula, even though I'm going to take care of your rent. If you want nice things in this life, you have to work for it. I don't ever want my daughter begging on the side of the road like her father. I don't want my daughter digging out the trash can. So I have to instill that in her now. You have to work to have nice things. So you shopping at Zara, Ralph Lauren, you got a little beside yourself because imagine how I feel. I'm buying you all of this stuff. You got $500 school uniforms, Zara coats, you wear BB shoes, you doing all of this stuff. And I go through it and I see that you and drew on it and you and messed it up because you're bored. And mommy just gonna buy me another one. Life does not work that way. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring it back down to Walmart. You don't know nothing about you. My daughter, even when we was in our wilderness season, Ruth stayed cute. They were saying how beautiful she was. She stayed pretty. Nobody knew what we was going through because I kept her nice looking. No matter what we were going through, I kept her nice looking. So we're gonna bring it back down to Walmart. You can work your way back up to Polo. But we got to bring it back down to humble you and remind you that you have to work for things in life. You want your TV privileges back? When you can go to school without making yourself throw up, then you can get your TV privileges back. But for right now, no. We're going to start all over. When you keep my house clean and you don't mess up my house while I'm asleep and you don't sneak and use my phone while I'm asleep, then we can talk about your TV privileges. But for right now, no, we're going to start all over. To y'all, the girl was in True Religion pajamas. The girl, your sleepwear is true. I'm serious. Like, she wearing True Religion pajamas. Girl. And y'all, she in mess. Like, I'm trying not to get mad. How you girl, you are wearing you go to sleep in True Religion. The pajama set is gone because she had messed it. Go eat that food. She had messed it up. And so then even down to her food, mind you, when I was growing up, we didn't have food. We didn't have food in the house. Food, girl. When I was in school, I didn't. There was no money for lunch, and there was no money for regular food. I had to go to school and ask my fake friends if I could have some of the food on their tray, and I was saving up quarters to go to the vending machine to get $1 bag of hot Cheetos. That's how I ate. So serious. That's how I ate. That's how I survived high school. I didn't have no food. Anything you want, I could go to the store and get it. So I'm sitting here and I'm giving her food. I don't want that. I want this. I don't know. I want that. What? And if she's like, today I feel like having Chinese. Today I feel like pizza. Mommy, I don't want this. I want this today. No, mommy. Mommy, I want my nails done. No, it don't work like that. Because I'm giving you stuff that I never even at 4. At 4, you going to restaurants like every week. Like you getting takeout every week. Girl, I was scrambling to get a $1 bag of hot flamings to eat. And at 4, you just living a life. Wearing True Religion pajamas. And then y'all, even down to her schooling, do you know how much of a blessing it is to find a daycare or a preschool that will not abuse your child? I don't even want to talk about the horrors that I went through in daycare and preschool, having people. Girl, I remember when I was a little girl, because I was developed more, they used to call me up there just so their husband could look at my body at daycare. I was their husband's company. When their wives went out to errands, they would call me up there to sit in front of their husbands and entertain their husbands because they were lonely. What you think happened? And I had grown men, because back in the day, used to be, at the end of school year, they used to sign your t-shirt. Grown men asking me if they could sign on my butt when I was a little girl. You don't got to go through that. You got nice teachers. So why are you going to school acting a hot mess? Do you know what's going on in public schools, and I got you in private education? No, we're going to nip this in the bud, because you can't get kicked out of private school. You know why? Because you're too pretty to go to public school. I don't need to get phone calls saying somebody jumped you at school and I'm up there fighting their mama. You're too pretty to, it's just, you have to, sometimes you just give your child so much and you just got to bring them back down. I need to bring you back down because you don't really know. You may have went through a little season, but by the time you're 18, you ain't even gonna remember that. I gotta bring you back down. She gonna end up all right, but I need to nip some stuff in the bud so that she don't end up in a bad spot when she grown. So phase 1, we got the kitchen clean. I just took out the trash. My kitchen's starting to look like how I like. This how I like my home. I just mopped the floors too. So the floors just got mopped. But yes, that's how I like my house. So the kitchen is done. Now we about to go to the next room, which is the living room. And I'm doing my room in the bathroom, and then I'm gonna hit her room. She on that time right now, but she's sneaking awake like I don't hear her. I also gotta take my braids down because I'm getting redone. And then I'm working on my budget, and I'm gonna do some homework, even though it's my last semester of seminary. Yep. Okay, now it's time to get my living room. Also, I'm bleaching them stroller wheels. They need to get bleached because y'all know how Chicago is. But it's time to get this all in order. Pooh, go in the room, Pooh. You supposed to be napping, okay? She put marker on the bed, so I forgive her. But it's time to get a lot of stuff. Them ugly shoes. Not them. The one by the Christmas tree. I bought those. My little African friend brought them. And first of all, I think they're men's shoes. And they're way too big. So he ain't pissed me off. But I need to just clean this up. Because this is not okay. Play some mint condition. What kind of man would I be to help me clean? Having a toddler is rough, man. It's rough. But like I said, my boyfriend, he about to become my ex-boyfriend. He called me this morning. I already told him I don't, because I'm not ready to have no baby. I need to get responsible first. I'm about to be like Sarah. I used to be like, I'll never be like Sarah. Girl, I'm just like, I'm gonna have to wait. I need to get my finances right. Nah, baby.
The man. Definition of a band.
Time to clean. I've been listening to R. Kelly, Mint Condition, gospel, of course, gospel music all morning. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson, but lately God been kind of dealing with me to stop listening to Michael Jackson. I don't know why. Like, I feel like God told me not to go see his movie, and I don't know why. But I had like a dream, and it was like an urgent word from God, like, don't go see his movie. Oh, I love Mint Condition. Sing, baby.
You say you feel disenchanted, 'cause lately he's taken you for granted. Still faithful and true, you remain, and to her so have I.
Sing, baby.
You pour out your heart and I listen.
Y'all know good music. Y'all know good music. This generation don't know no good music.
Temptation so strong, I will mention the yearning inside. But what kind of man would I be if I lived unfaithfully? And what kind of girl would you be if you did the same? 'Cause I don't want to see her cry, and you don't need a reason to lie. 'Cause if we lay down tonight,
Go nap time, girl.
justify throwing love aside. This feeling is strong.
So I got a lot of weight on this hoodie. I'm also about to do a face mask because my skin, I have osteoporosis and my skin is literally like super irritated right now. I don't feel good, and I'm about to start taking out my braids. So I'm doing 3 things at once. I'm cleaning the house, about to start taking down these kinky twists because I'm about to get my hair retwisted, and I'm about to get my hair retwisted, and I have a lot to do basically in a short amount of time. And I need to redo my nails. The cleaning products kind of tore my nail polish up, so this is realistic. Like I told y'all, I'm in that middle space. Like I have risen above the normal job sector, but I haven't risen to like the height of like the Grammys yet. And I felt kind of depressed because I could be there, but I had to do something. I had to do basically I would have had to do a humiliation ritual in order to catapult there. And the humiliation ritual was I had to lie and say that R. Kelly had raped me, and I said no. I said I wasn't doing that because first of all, I love R. Kelly. Like I'm a huge fan of R. Kelly. I think musically he is my number 1 influence. He has influenced me, and then number 2 is Jodeci, and then Mint Condition, and then 4 is Jagged Edge. And of course, I can't. And then New Edition without Bobby Brown. But the New Edition without Bobby Brown. So, and Belle Biv DeVoe. So, R. Kelly was like one of my number 1 influences out of all for music, and that's being a Chicago native. So I wasn't engaging in that ritual, and so I kind of. Basically, the Freemasons and the FBI tried to like force my hand, like, well, now you can't get a job, so what you gonna do? So I'm in like a really tough wilderness season, and my pastor, he preached on Sunday during this time about the wilderness. And we a black church, so we celebrate in the Yam festival. But he preached on the wilderness and how like times get tough. So I had a dream I was in the wilderness. So I'm in this wilderness season that I will not do a humiliation ritual. And part of being a mother, balancing my money and being unemployed. So it is pretty rough. Y'all gonna see me just keep it 100% real. Like I don't keep up with the Joneses. I keep it real no matter what. So let me finish cleaning this room. I'm about to put a face mask on because my skin irritated. Good job. Okay.
Fortunate by Maxwell.
You can play specific songs, Amazon Music on YouTube.
Go to YouTube. BRB. Okay. So that brown stain you see is not human secretion. My daughter was playing with my foundation and it got all on the mattress. The life of a toddler. Video for to Maxwell. This is another CD. You gotta do the Jodeci bounce. High five. Just so people don't be lying and saying I got my period all on the mattress. That's not true, baby. That's marker. That's marker, baby. Don't ever try to play me. I don't even move like that. So my beautiful angel of a daughter, she was trying to sneak up in the middle of the night to break into the snack cabinet, and she broke my butt. Which is why she is grounded. So you're gonna see me mop the floor the hood way. We're gonna wet the mop, we're gonna put the product on the ground, and we're gonna mop that way. That's how we're gonna get it popping, boo. Shoe cleaner, I gotta wash these. These are my Aaron shoes. You see, messing with that stroller and got some scuffs on them, so I need to take care of that. Done. These were my mom's shoes, and they have a hole in them from fooling around with this daggone stroller. Strollers will tear your shoes up, man, when you a mom. I ain't never lied. So I got to get these going in the garbage because they done. Ghetto mopping at its finest. Please don't forget about all your mop. What color, okay? Gotta go get a new bucket. I'm gonna get the last. Pull, go sit down because I got bleach. I'm gonna get the last use of this, baby. Don't play with me. If I bought it, I'm gonna use all of it, even the corn. So smell my mommy mom. Okay? Stop, mama.
What the heck? You ain't been working this time, so you better act right.
upgrade the mop soon. This is the unemployed mop. Gang gang. Baby, mommy mopping. Go sit down. So I'm actually considering buying a rug. So after I bleach and mop my floor, this is what I use to seal to make sure the bugs and mice are in here. If you're in Chicago, you know. And when you live in Chicago, it don't matter how nice your apartment is, it don't matter where you live, you gotta work to keep mice and roaches out your house. And baby, I don't play. So I'm actually gonna go get a new pillow and a new sheet set because Hookah Pop put marker on it. I told her she banned crayons, her room. That's it. This is my best friend living in Chicago. I gotta get a squirrel repellent. I want to get an air conditioning unit, but I'm kind of nervous because I don't want like things to creep in through the window from it being open so much. So the last thing I need is the cat running around in here. You feel what I'm saying? So I just finished mopping, so I raised the window, as you can see, so that the floor will dry quicker. Also, I mop with gym shoes on because this floor get real slippery. My beautiful daughter is not listening. Go in the room so you don't fall. Thank you. No, you cannot mop. I don't want you to fall. So I got the fan going to help the floor dry because I just finished mopping. So normally my house is not a mess, but I've been really depressed. So it starts with the home. So I'm like I need to get my house in order. That's what the Bible say. Look, cleanliness is next to godliness, okay? So I made some mistakes. I can't change it, but I can change what I do from this point on. And also, I'm about to go get a sponge, and I got to go get a big sponge because I clean my walls because I hate when people's walls stink. Like, ooh, child, that's a husky. People's walls do stink. They do. Cool, be careful the floors, but I'm definitely in need of a rug. It's time for a rug, especially having a child. It's time for a rug. Doesn't that look better? Yes, it looks better. So I learned, we've been in here for a little while, and I learned that you ain't gonna get no breakthrough until you be grateful. I came into my home after losing my last home in New Bern. I came in here bitter and I came in here angry. And it wasn't until recently that I felt like the Holy Spirit dealing with me and healing me. I feel like this apartment is like a place of healing and delivering me from a lot of hatred of Christ, because I had gone through so much racism and unfairness, and instead of giving it to God, I was just like, God, I hate you. I hate you. I hate everything you do. I hate you. And so coming to God and cleaning my home and just recalibrating my mind, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna make it. I think we can settle here. We can make it. Also, I learned this month in February to keep your card locked at all time. Keep your debit card locked, and keep your debit card locked, and keep your bank accounts locked, because I got hacked from a gas station and that really set me back. But I had heard a lot of people saying that their card numbers had gotten jacked. But my card got hacked at a gas station, and it was a little rough. So we made it though. Preparing to cut back. I'm preparing my house now because the time is coming that I'm gonna have to cut back a lot because I'm unemployed. But right now I'm working on some stuff. But so I have to budget, like really get my house in a peaceful position so that we don't. Chicago is beautiful, but you have to know when to go places and when not to go places. Like if your money is tight, you probably just need to chill out for a little bit. And so that's kind of where my head is. Like it's cool right now, but if my money tight, we just gonna chill out and enjoy the house. And I'm also preparing to buy a new TV. They stole my last TV. I had to file a police report on that TV, but I'm thinking about getting another one. So. Also, I want to say for girls who want children, this is my thing. There's nothing wrong with being a mom, but you have to be financially stable. I'm making the decision to wait to have another child because I want to fix my finances. I feel like if you're a mother and you know that your stuff is not squared away, don't put that child through that terrible time. When I had Pooh, my stuff was squared away. Unfortunately, I got married and he messed me up real bad. He messed me up bad, y'all. He tore me up. He lied on me to the police. He messed me up. So I had to rebuild and get my life together. So for the next baby, I just want to make sure my stuff, I want to make sure, I don't want to birth the child unemployed is what I'm saying. I don't want to birth the child unemployed. I don't want to birth the child without a car. Because it get worse. It get rough. It get rough, especially in these brutal winters. You don't want your baby walking around in -7 degree weather in Chicago on the bus. You don't want that. So I be feeling bad for Tinky being on the bus, but she can handle it. So I'm waiting. I just clean. Don't play with me. Take them shoes off. I'm already starting. So I'm about to show you my room. Once again, the life of a toddler. So I'm probably going to end up getting a TV in the living room because right now my room is the main TV, and she basically, I'm not going to get upset with her, but she was just coloring everywhere, playing with toys, and this is how it ended up. Now this is not good because I need solitude and peace in my room, and I realized that she's a toddler, so she doesn't know what she's doing, and then she's on the autistic spectrum. However, I need peace. So I am contemplating just going ahead and just getting a TV soon in the living room so that she can watch TV in there, just so I can keep my mental sanity, because I hate when my room is dirty. I haven't even been sleeping in my room. I just been in the living room area because I just cannot do it. So I'm about to clean this up. We getting my mental peace back. Story time. Story time. So tell me why I'm about to break up with my boyfriend, right? Let me tell. I don't even claim he's my boyfriend anymore. Let me tell you what happened. Girl chat. So tell me why I was going through his phone. I told you, like, the first time we was being intimate, it didn't go well because he just was acting like real sensitive, and I wasn't really used to that. I'm used to like being like I'm used to being choked, and that's what I'm used to. And so it didn't go well. And this is when we were alone. So he was just being real feminine, and I was like, hey, I think you need to get your stuff and go. So he apologized to me, and he came back over to cook some jollof rice, and he taught me how to make some jollof rice. But he had bought me these gifts, and the shoes was like kind of dudeish. And I had these slippers, right? He totally turned it off for me. I had these white fuzzy slippers, y'all. Why he put my house shoes on? So I'm looking at him, and mind you, he in the church. I'm looking at him. I said, nigga, take my stuff off. I'm serious. This is a less aggressive, but like, I was really mad. But I'm like, nigga, what is you doing to my stuff? Hold on. Play Zoo by R. Kelly. So I told him to take my stuff off. So me and him had gotten into it real bad. And he was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So I'm like, cool. But like you acting like a girl and I really don't like that. And I'm telling him, like, we having a whole argument. I'm like, what do you not understand? I don't really want to be with you because you act like a girl. Like, you act like a girl. I'm just I don't need to go through that twice. I dealt with that once. I don't need another girl. You know, I bleed. I don't need another. I don't need a man to act like you do, like you want to. So he put on my shoes. I told him to get out of my house, basically. So he came back over. He apologized, and for Valentine's Day, the Holy Ghost said, "Go through his phone." See, it's one thing to find women. You can't make this stuff up, bro. It's one thing to find women in his phone. But when you find men in his phone, you got a problem. See, my ex-husband, I walked in on him looking at a man. I walked in on my ex-husband looking at a man doing his waves. That turns him on for some reason. It turns him on watching a man do his waves. Mind you, he's a former pastor. That turns him on. This one, Pooh. Hold on. What's wrong, Mama?
Stomach.
Yeah, what's wrong with your stomach?
Your stomach hurts.
What you mean your stomach hurt? Are you pretending? Because you got to go to school tomorrow. I told you about that. What's wrong with your stomach?
My stomach. Yes. Yay! I see you making the punch.
This time, I'm going to let you stay home. Because every time you tell me your stomach hurt, I don't believe you. And you end up getting sick. So this time, I'm going to believe you. Okay?
Okay.
Let me finish making this video. And I'm going to give you some medicine. I need some privacy. Let me see your stomach. It's a little tight. Okay, go sit down in the room. Go color. Go color. Mama coming. Grab your baba. Go in the room. Go color. I'm gonna go get you. Go get you. Girl, go drink this milk. Close the door. So I didn't want to say everything in front of her. So I'm going through his phone, right? And he, mind you, this is right after he told me, he looks at me, he said, "You so strong." What? I'm so serious. He looks at me, he tells me, he says, "You strong like Samson." I said, "Nigga, is you Delilah?" I'm like, "What's up? What you trying to say? Nigga, is you Delilah? What is you saying?" So I was like, "I don't need this thing." But this is the crazy thing. I'm going to tell you another story about this. God told me not to go to the Marines. Anyway, so I go through his phone. I see women, and I'm like, okay, he got a thing for white women. But then I keep scrolling. I made him delete all the family pictures that he had of my child. Girl, tell me why I found the whole man. 6'3", caramel, do-rag on, in his boxers. Girl, working out. Doing push-ups, baby. And I mean, he flexing his muscles. He doing push-ups. He cooking with his, he cooking. A whole man. So I look at him. I said, "What is this?" And he tell me, he was like, "Oh, I was just looking at his tutorial." Gay. I said, "Ooh, don't need to go through this 2 times." The crazy thing is that he's in the church. So this is the issue that I've been having in the church. That these men that I keep dating in the church are secretly gay. They're gay. I don't need to go through the ordeal with this one. I married a pastor, found out he was gay, which is crazy because I've gained a lot of weight because he was putting food additives in my stuff. But before this, I was pretty. Even now, I'm not even gonna lie. I get a lot of attention now. I be walking. I be having men doing U-turns, honking at me. Hey, what's up, mom? What's it? I mean, even at my size now, they like how thick I am. I don't know why, but they do. But especially when I was younger and smaller, I mean, I just couldn't keep them off me. I'm just being honest. I'm not even exaggerating. But it had gotten to a point with my ex-husband Rakeem that he would be trying to like. He was so embarrassing, y'all. Like if we'd be in public, he would watch how men was looking at my hips, like when I walk and how they jiggle and move, and he'd get out the car and try to sway his hips like mine to get attention from men, and men would be laughing at him. He was so embarrassing. So when I told this one, I had been there, done that. So I told this, and I was like, I don't need a bitch. Like you're not about to be up in my house wearing my slippers like a bitch and cooking for me. I don't even play that. He was like, you don't like that? And so I realized that sometimes people in church be like, that's a good man. No, girl, that's a bitch. Forgive my language, Lord. That's a bitch. That's not a good man. See, God is not the God of confusion. That I'm telling you right now, God don't operate in confusion. God is not sending me a man to wear my clothes and cook for me. He ain't doing that. That's not the will of God. So when I went through his phone and found the picture of a man, we're going to have to cut it short. Girl, he go to church. This is a warning for you young ladies, because I'm trying to divorce a psychopath now. He goes to church. He claims on Sunday he worshiping Jehovah. He dresses in suits. He goes to Christians. He do it all. But when I went through that phone, girl, I found a man. And I found a man. A man. So I realized, and this has been a consistent thing, and it's hard because me being a Marine Corps veteran, I'm one of the strongest women in the entire world, right? In the 1%. So dealing with men, I wouldn't say it's intimidating to weak men, but I realized that for some reason it keep attracting bisexual men. Even with my ex, he couldn't do, or I don't know how to explain it, like he couldn't keep up with me financially. So he was like flirting with men for free weed. And I'm sitting here like, niggas is gay. But I feel like if you're gay or bisexual, you need to tell somebody. So I was talking to God. He said, Diamond, what's going on with you is already written. And God told me, he said, there's an apostle in Chicago that's gay. And I'm about to expose him. And God told me, he said, all of these men that you're dealing, this is a spirit realm now. He said, all of these men that you're dealing with, that apostle has had sex with those types of men. That's why it's being loosed on earth. I said, whew, Jesus. So now I'm, dealing with the type of man that I want. I realize that it's gone too far because like even, I guess it's my demeanor. Like, this is why I don't want to live down south. Like, I remember when I was in Tuscaloosa, I'll just be driving and I'd be having like white girls just flashing me though. Showing me I'm being honest. I'm like, whoa. I don't even get down like that, But I realized that there's a problem. There's a problem in the body of Christ. There's a problem in the body of Christ. I want a man, and I've been asking God to help me to become more feminine. I've really been asking God to help me to become more feminine because I want a man. I want a man. So I'm asking God to deliver me from this hardness and to help me. I'll still knock you out though. Don't play with me. But I want to become more feminine because I want a man. And it's hard dealing with these men in the church because they're gay. And it's the truth. One thing is, and then on Valentine's Day, dog, I'm just like, yo, you can't make this stuff up. It's kind of difficult when you're in the church. They ain't gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it. It's kind of difficult when you're in the church and you're watching the world celebrate this amazing holiday for love. But then when you're a Christian and you're dating a man in the church and then you go through his phone and you find a man in his drawers. That's not good. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and break up with him. And it's not for me. In another incident in Tuscaloosa, I was going in, right? Mind you, I got my slides on, it's hot outside, I got I call it my black culture outfit. black t-shirt, black shorts, but on me they look like booty shorts. And I'm going in there, yo. I hold the door, and I had this man go. He says, "Thank you," and he looks back at me, and I'm like, "It ain't supposed to go that way. It's what just happened?" And he just like, "Thank you." And I'm looking at him like, "Oh no, it is not supposed to go that way, Bookabop. It ain't supposed to go that way. A man is supposed to hold the door for me." And this is the crazy thing, is that I keep dealing with men who want to switch the gender role, and I'm not going for it. I'm not switching the gender role. That was the issue with my ex-husband. In a different vlog, I'm gonna have to tell you because my baby was seeing it. Here it get too deep. He was trying to switch the gender role in the bedroom. No, I'm not doing that. We need to go ahead and divorce. Once again, with this one, he wants to switch the gender role. The answer is no. It's no matter how many gifts you give, no, and that's not a good man. A man that want to come over and act like a girl, that's not a good man. So I had to cut that fool loose. And then, y'all, I forgot to tell you that he asked to borrow my shoes, and then he went to the store and bought me man shoes so that he could borrow my shoes, the girl shoes. Child, I don't know what I'm gonna do. All I want is a man that's not bisexual. Why is that like so a huge problem in this generation? R. Kelly looks so sexy. Why y'all start that rumor? He is so sexy. God. Anyway, all I want is a man that's not bisexual. That's all I ask. A man that's not bisexual. And then it's so weird because he was like, I'm dark, right? And he was telling me, they always tell me I look good naked, but he was like, he don't want no dark skinned baby. Nigga, did you see how black you are? I'm just being honest. That's a bad time. I'm like, Negro, do you see how black you are? What you mean you don't want no dark skinned baby? You come from the motherland. You're not even a citizen. You a motherland nigga. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't want no black baby. Child, there's too much going on.
When buying hot dogs, you want to pay right away. But buying big game tickets, that's when you probably pay later. With the
Look, she ain't got no temperature. She knows she going to school tomorrow. Getting my room together. This was a serious learning lesson in motherhood. Ruth turns 5 in September, and I have learned the hard way about setting boundaries because I already had postpartum depression, but the lack of boundaries, I think, almost took me about here. One of the reasons my marriage failed, and there were many reasons that it failed because one thing he did not have was boundaries. And child, when I tell you their boundaries did not exist, there was no boundaries, which means that we couldn't even go on a date without his other daughter being there. Everything, every conversation, everything went back to the other daughter.
And that was an issue with his first wife, is that he would demean her and try to make her submit to the opinion of a little girl. And that was not working with me. I said, and I told him straight, I said, let me explain something to you. My world doesn't revolve around your daughter. You can play with me if you want to. She don't run me, and she don't run my life. And they tried to cause a whole bunch of hell and uproar, and they was calling the police all over this little girl. And I don't know what happened to her, and I don't care. I could care less what happened to her. She's not my daughter. So, I had to get some stuff squared away with my own child and tell her, hey, there are boundaries. And me cleaning my house is regaining my boundaries. And for women who want a man, if you want a man after leaving your child's father, you gotta get some boundaries. Because when he come over and he trying to freak with you, he don't want to roll over and it's my baby doll in no bed. He don't. And I gotta clean that off my wall. She was in here. Thankfully, they didn't get upset drawing on my stuff. She had baby dolls everywhere and Play-Doh. I have to get a new blanket set because I bought her slime for Christmas. Didn't think that she would put slime on my entire bed sheet, but she did. I bought a day bed. I didn't think that she would put marker all over my day bed, but she did. Unfortunately, she did. All my books, she drew in them. And that's when I realized, you know what? Mommy loves you. We're going to have to set some boundaries. Because in order for me and you to stay besties when you grown, we're going to have to learn right now. Because I have lost friends over how dirty they are. I ain't playing with you. So serious. I don't speak to people because of how filthy they were. And that's the truth. Y'all looking at my empty closet, it is because I have to do laundry. That's why you see all them hangers right there. I gotta do laundry. Anyway, no, go in the room. So she is on timeout, and I literally have bags and bags and bags. Like, I have all this laundry that I have to do. I gotta go to the laundromat, and that in itself has been a struggle because I stopped going out in public with her. It was too much. And I don't know if this is not necessarily having an autistic child, or maybe this is just being a black mother. For some reason, when you are a black mother and you have a little girl, mind you, ain't nobody protect me from nothing. But everybody tries to make it seem like you jealous of your daughter, and you're not. Forgetting she would even be looking like that if it wasn't for my money. So I got tired of dealing with, I like to exercise. Before I got pregnant, I exercised 3 times a day. What the heck? Who is? Oh, Jaheem. So basically, I like to exercise 3 times a day. One of the things that I lost was that ability to do that. And that had caused me to go into depression, and I ended up gaining a lot of weight. And I realized that even when I had tried to go to the gym, my ex-husband, he'll be arguing with me at the gym and causing a scene. And so even the small things like going on a walk, it just wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't enjoyable. Like, I like to go on walks. So I had to kind of separate myself a little bit from my daughter and get a lot of my me time in while she was at school, because it just became too much of a hassle. I'm trying to go grocery shop, you falling out in the store. And so you try not to compare the child to their father, but it just get difficult sometimes because you're like, this is the crap that it gets rough. It gets rough, especially when people try to paint you out as the wrong person for leaving an abusive marriage, not considering how much you have done for the child, how much you have loved the child. I was talking to God and he said, Diamond, I'm going to tell you something. I said, yes, Lord. He said, your daughter is like Miriam. Didn't want to receive that. He said, no, she's like Miriam. And a lot of times we don't want to hear truth when God is trying to tell us about
the children that we are raising. I don't think play Donnell Jones Where I Want to Be. I don't think David wanted to hear that his son has raped his daughter, you
For a
know.
limited time, you are eligible for a 2-month free trial, which renews at $12 and
But sometimes we have to face truth. And I love my daughter to the end. She's like Miriam. And I have seen God, like when she do stuff to me, I'm just being honest. Like when stuff happen, I've seen God get on her. You know, I've seen God like act quick. But it has been rough regaining my boundaries, and I have no choice but to say, hey, this is enough. Because what you fail to realize is that one day I am going to be married again. One day you are going to have a sibling. It may not be happening right now, but it's going to happen. And how you are acting, that has to get nipped into the bud. The world doesn't revolve around you. And my world doesn't stop and go when you say so. So regaining my cleanliness of my house, y'all, I have to leave seminary because I was so depressed because I couldn't find an appointment because she was sick for 5 months. So it was just a lot of stuff that made me unhappy. Even like looking into the mirror and looking at my mom body and realizing that all I want to do is go to the gym. And every time I go to the gym, I have people, trying at the church coming to the gym and trying to make me feel bad, saying that I'm a bad mom because I want to work out and go to the gym. Or if I try to go to the gym, I get a call that you ate somebody's snacks, like I didn't just buy you Wendy's. So it's just the difficulty that I have faced being a mother, and I have to get my mental peace back. I have to. I was about to go shopping and buy her some stuff. God told me, he said, take all that stuff out of that cart. He did. He said, nope, take it all out the cart. You have to stop rewarding bad behavior. So these are just lessons that I had to learn.
Think about my life the way you asked to me the most. Your love and we share is real, but in time we're gone with. I'm not saying I'm gone, but I have to find what life is like without you. But when you love someone, just don't treat him bad. Feel so sad now that I worry. She's crying apart to me.
To say something too, for black women, you have to understand that a man doesn't have to deal with your bad child. So if you want peace, you have to, especially if their relationship with you and another man, close the door, go back and take a nap. Especially if you in the relationship with another man didn't work, you can't keep holding that over that man's head. He don't have to deal with you. And that's a lot of reason why a lot of black women are lonely and bitter, because a man doesn't have to deal with your bad kids.
1,000 birds about the tree, girl, life is gonna be. That is how it's gonna be. Climax in you and me. Touch the root of your soul, let Mother Nature take control over us as you and me. So come on, girl, let's plant these seeds, yeah. Baby, those are the sounds I wanna hear when you're moaning in my ear, singing. You got me locked up in your cage of ecstasy.
Just so people don't say I'm lying about my bed, let me show you what happened. Can you see? Can you see? See, she was jumping on the bed and she broke it. Yeah. So, she somehow broke the spring, which it was a very good mattress. It was a very good mattress, but she broke it. And so I have to get a new bed, and I'm looking for someone that's going to deliver me a new bed. But I'm just rigging it for right now. So God has really been dealing with me that it's time to, the Bible says not to give your pearls to the swine, right? And in the Bible, you can't let your child ruin your life because it is possible. Case in point, Eli. Eli's sons were the reason that God killed him.
and he killed his sons. He even killed the baby in the womb. He wiped his bloodline out. And so if you don't get control over your child, they will ruin your life. And I am in a time that I have to get control because this is not going to work. And that's a hard reality as a parent when you're faced with the reality like, no, you're going to get it together. And I had to sit down and face the fact like, your father is not going to ruin my life. He's not. And that marriage, he is not going to use you as a weapon to keep me miserable. That's not going to happen. And I realized that sometimes when you're dealing with abusers, or people who are narcissists, like Rakim is a narcissist. When you're dealing with narcissism, they will use their child as a weapon and tool to destroy your life. And so I have had to ask God to help me raise her in love, and to raise her in peace, and to raise her in serenity, and not raise her with a root of bitterness in my heart. So at the end of this vlog, I'm going to show you what I used to look like and how I'm on the journey to coming back to me. I may always have mom thighs and mom hips, but I need to get back to me. I need to get back to myself, because this relationship has this whole situation has caused me to just lose the essence of me. And that's a detrimental space to be, especially when you use children as like a void filler. That's dangerous because they'll break your heart, because you have to remember that they're still half of that other person. No matter how much you love them and you guide them, that does not change that they are half of you. And so you have to raise them differently. And so with my daughter Ruth, though I love her, I cannot change the fact that she is still half of Rakim. She may not be Judas Iscariot, but she is still half of Rakim. And that messiness comes from Rakim. And today I had to get a hold of it. I woke up, I said, this is the final day. I have been almost a year without unemployment because I can't find anybody that wants to watch you, because you cry all the time. You don't want to sit down. Oh no, today we are getting it in, we nipping it in the bud, because I call myself a hybrid stay-at-home mother. I have to work. And I told my daughter Ruth, I said, let me explain something to you. We're not going to keep going through cycles of homelessness because you don't want to act right. Because if you don't work, you'll get evicted because you don't have money. And I had to tell her, let me explain something to you. In this house, you don't stay home all day like a bum and watch TV all day. You go to school. You have to go to school. So we're going to nip some things in the bud, because I was depressed for 7 months because I don't have employment. And the reason I don't have employment is because you keep mysteriously getting sick and I don't have nobody to watch you for the length of time that I need to. But the day is coming, I have to go back to work. So all of this fake sick is going to stop. It's going to stop. Since you want to go to school and mysteriously get sick because you want to watch TV, you can't watch TV. Until you have a perfect attendance, you can't watch TV. Don't know what to tell you. I don't care who has a problem with it. And I have to stop letting people in church make me feel bad. And people try to make me feel bad for setting boundaries. There has to be boundaries. The Bible says in Genesis, and God set a boundary so that for the waters in the land. So if God will set boundaries for waters and land, I need to set boundaries for my life, even with my own daughter. It is finished. Doesn't that look better? We need a new bed. that's coming soon. I gotta find some delivery and new bed sheets because my child has gotten marker and crayon all over it. So the gist of this, if you learn anything from watching this, is that you cannot let your child ruin your life. When I went through my wilderness season in Tuscaloosa, the main reason for that is that I could not find anybody to babysit my daughter. So I was working Uber, and it was a dark, y'all couldn't imagine. It was hard because I had this baby who was just being unnecessarily dramatic, slowing me down while I'm trying to work. And just so you all know, her father, even though I never want to see him again, Rakeem, when he had set me up with the FBI, he told me, he said, well, since you don't want to have sex with me, I don't want to be her father. And then he lied on me to the police because he knew that I was going to be just fine without him, so that I would be hindered raising her. He did that on purpose because he knew how hard it was to be a single mother because he had his mother homeless. He misbehaved so much growing up that his mother still to this day cannot hold a consistent home because of what he did to her. And so being unemployed has scared me because all I keep thinking of is we can't have a repeat of what happened in 2024. From 2023 to 2020 until July 2025, we cannot have a repeat. We cannot have a repeat of that. And that's what scares me. And I have had to let go of my anger towards God and really deal with my child. You need to get it together because all of this drama, first of all, I can't stand drama, but all of this drama and you pretending to be sick because you want to come home and play with toys all day and you want to watch TV all day, that's not reality. I have to work. And we're not going to keep going through this cycle of going from hotel to hotel because nobody wants to babysit you. You're going to stop misbehaving in school. You're going to act right. You want to get it together. And I had to cut almost everybody off because I don't want to hear their mouth. I know what I'm doing. Mind you, these people in the church are 60 and 70 years old who are losing their houses and can't afford rent, telling me that I'm mean because I have to go work. So today, this self-care vlog was me reclaiming me. I'm reclaiming me. I decluttered my house and I'm becoming me again. It's a metamorphosis of me. I have to become me again. Toodles.
Calling Tyrone, 'cause when a woman's fed up, no matter how you beg, no, it ain't nothing you can do about it. It's like